Hello my soul family, welcome to the extended spiritual guidance, the extended weekly spiritual guidance for this week of December 5th through the 11th of 2022. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your soul coach, spiritual influencer, and motivational speaker. So right away, I got the message that this is definitely a week of taking a deep breath with the holidays, okay? I know there's a lot of Christmas shopping to do, a lot of decoration, a lot of planning for your dinners, for your parties, but take it one step at a time and enjoy every single moment of it. That's a huge message. I also hope that you're watching my Advent messages here on my YouTube channel as well, because those little messages, they're only like 3 to 4 minutes long per day. They're gonna help you to raise your vibration. I give you little assignments, there's little themes for each day, and it's just so powerful so far, so definitely check them out. And expanding on what we were talking in the weekly spiritual guidance, I feel like we are being elevated this week, upgraded in some way for the new year. Again, this whole December is about a preparation. It's like a major upgrade, major learning and sealing of lessons, karma broken already from the past. And this new year, we're going to step into this new cycle that's going to be that much better. So I feel like we are still kind of maybe healing from like past failures, past subconscious fears, setbacks, sabotage, our own undoings, right? That we are needing to mend and now start to believe in our potential. We're building back from all that we've been broken down from, right? And I know that this year has been hard for a lot of us who have been broken down previous years and into like decades. And this year we're like regaining our confidence. We've been returning to our true inner self within. And we've been learning a lot about ourselves on the soul journey. And that is what the soul journey is about. It's about this evolution from within, and it manifests in our external self, right? So maybe a lot of you have been maybe feeling like I look better than I ever have in my whole life. I feel like more attractive even. I feel more confident. It's because of all this healing. It's because of all this baggage that we've let go that has been drifted away from our aura, which can definitely affect even how you look, your physical appearance, right? If you've been drained by past vampire energies, you can say, by people who've been draining of your energy, taking away from you, mistreating you, all of that takes a toll on your aura, on your physical appearance, on the way that you feel about yourself, right? So if you want to look and feel your best, take a look at the people around you, take a look at your relationships, take a look at the dynamics of how you live your life and the relationships with other people and every area. It doesn't only have to be romantic relationships, but friendships. If your friends respect you, if they see you in a high light, right? Or they see down on you, that's not a good vibration to keep around you, right? Same with business partnerships, especially because they, you have business contracts with them where that affects your money and being able to manifest abundance. That's what we're really taking a close look at this week. I feel, again, coming off the people energy that I did say is a main focus, is realizing, how did people in my past treat me? And why did I attract that in the first place? Was that a lesson of self-worth? Was that a lesson that I needed to learn, that I have the courage to walk away if they're not treating me right, and knowing that I can manifest something better? That's a lot of lessons for a lot of people who've been mistreated or abused in the past. And maybe for others it's been like a lesson of letting go, knowing you're worth enough and trusting that God has something better for you, right? And chances are, like, a lot of us have done this before, so it's not something new. It's not something new. It's not something that you can't do because you've done it before. We've all had to deal with breakups, with walking away from situations that didn't serve us. And we found out that after we did, we found and manifested something better. And a lot of it was like as if like instantly later, right? Like, I know this for a fact. Like, I don't want to bring too much in my personal life, but when I was very young, there was something very toxic that lasted for like 6 years. And it wasn't until I had the courage to just let it go, even if I didn't have anything else. And what actually helped me to let go of that was actually a position in my career that gave me confidence. It gave me a boost in confidence, that I felt like confident. I felt like, almost like not necessarily wanted, but I felt like I just had this confident energy come all over me because I had manifested a job in my life, and it gave me the courage to say no to something else. And then almost instantaneously, it was also related to love, I manifested a long-term partnership right after that. That was actually a soulmate energy. It wasn't so much of a toxic energy that was trying to teach me something. I manifested something positive out of having the courage to stand up for myself. And maybe this is something that we're all realizing this week, that if you're stuck in a negative loop of maybe toxic relationships over and over, people that take advantage of you, who only want you for one thing, especially like if you have something to offer, like maybe it's money, if you're a man, if you're a woman, maybe it's your looks, or maybe it's you're very sweet and giving, and maybe they seek to suck the life of that out of you, the life out of you. You know, things like that. Like everybody has something that someone else wants from you, if it's not true love, if it's not genuine, right? And these are the kind of people that we aim to stay away from, especially as high vibrational light workers, because it's going to take a toll on your vibration, on your feeling your best, on your aura. And when you really see this potential within you and you start to love yourself a little more, you have the courage to say no to what doesn't serve you, right? And even though it might take a little trials and errors, because I believe that it didn't even happen yet like overnight. Like it took a little bit, like a couple dating situations right after that situation, but it wasn't negative like it was that, right? Because when you're in a situation like that, if you're in any kind of negative situation, it can also be like a negative relationship in a business partnership, or maybe a job that's not respecting you, a boss. And if you stay in that, everything else is gonna also be that energy, okay? And once you let it go, at least you start to manifest more positive situations, even though maybe it's not like the one, or like the soulmate, the friend that you need, but maybe it's getting there, right? Because at least things started to get better, and I was just having friends, I was just making friends, right? And little did I know, in making friends, I found that soulmate, right? And then that's what unraveled into a romantic partnership for a couple years after. And so that's a huge message for us. If you have anything in your life that's like one speck of negative, or you have a doubt about it, or you feel like there's like maybe you're being used, or whatever it is, that's something that needs to be let go. Because we're stepping into this Christmas season of joy, of innocence more than anything. We're needing to return to our innocence by severing ties with anything that reminds us of the past, anything that looks like the past, anything that is like a very just clone of the past, right? Because that's also what I remembered. You know, when I was in that situation, I was manifesting clones of that person because I wanted a similar situation, right? I wasn't really over that kind of person. So I was just manifesting it just over and over, and it didn't do any good because it was only creating more trauma after trauma. And that was more trauma that I had to heal from after. And even though I didn't heal from it right away, because that soulmate came into my life to kind of help save me in a way, because I was kind of drowning emotionally, and God didn't allow that to affect my career, because that's also the age where I was like still climbing in my career. So, you know, God knows why he does things, right? Because if I would have drowned, I probably wouldn't have been in this position right now. I probably wouldn't even have finished my college degree, because I probably was just probably going to end up in depression. And I almost was going into that route of depression. Like if it wasn't for that friend that I needed during that time, which was my soulmate, I probably would have been depressed. Like he kind of pushed me out of that by taking me out. You know, he was helping me to do some hobby on the side it was a hobby that also helped me to give me the courage as well, because that hobby of mine was always there, but it got exemplified to the next level around that time when I kind of let that person go, and that became like my center of attention. And that friend of mine was into that as well, so it all kind of worked out synchronistically together. But it's like God knows the perfect time for everything, right? Because this friend came in at just the right moment that I needed that friend. And even though it didn't last like till now, because obviously, you know, it's been years since I've been alone, it's that moment that I needed it, because I was the most vulnerable, right? And you know, that person taught me a lot of lessons, and that's part of like these lessons that we're learning, right? So what I'm basically saying is like, this is a week of realization of what is it in your life that you're like manifesting the same of, with like a different face or like just like a different cover, that you need to let go, because it's the underneath lesson that maybe you're yet to learn, and that's what really needs to be learned. Because if you're going to manifest anything enduring and long-term for your future, it needs to be something very pure, very coming from a place of innocence and complete healed state, right? Because the healing, like I was saying also, right, the healing from all that trauma before that soulmate didn't happen throughout that relationship, because obviously I was distracted with that relationship, right? And we were focusing on other things like having fun, learning things together, doing activities together. The healing actually happened after the breakup, and that's where my self-love journey really started, right? Because that relationship started to bring up triggers that were unhealed from what had happened before him. So it wasn't necessarily that it was him, right? It was the triggers that he was just projecting and illuminating that needed to be healed, right? And that's what happens when you jump into relationships from an unhealed state. So for any of you out there, I feel like it's a little bit of a couples therapy session today, who are yet single and maybe are frustrated that you're single. Be grateful that you're single, because maybe there's still healing that you need to do. And be grateful that you're not going to be distracted and delayed from this self-love journey, because if you were to jump into a relationship before you're ready, you're going to be delayed. You're going to be deterred from what's waiting for you in the future, and it's going to take longer for you to get there. So think of like the long-term perspective, which this is the long-term perspective, right? Because after that relationship, I did a lot of self-love healing, and I did really find myself that much more, that I'm a different person than I even was in that relationship, and even more so than before that relationship, right? So that's how life works. So don't be frustrated with where you're at, what God is giving you in this moment, because everything is exactly as it should be. And we eventually will be presented with the perfect soulmate that's going to be our life partner. A lot of us who are already very advanced on the soul journey, like myself, on the spiritual roller coaster, we're waiting for just that one life partner already. We're not needing to experiment or even just date, because we don't just need to settle for just company, right? We're beyond that. We don't settle anymore because we don't need it. We're so self-sufficient emotionally that we're good by ourselves and better off by ourselves than with the wrong partner by our side, right? And that's the level that I wish to implode on all of you to want to reach, because that's a healthy state of living. That's a healthy way of seeing love and partnerships, is not needing to be codependent on someone by your side, because that's only going to create more codependency, more toxicity, and just more pain down the long run. So be self-sufficient on your own. Be happy in being on your own. Be grateful that you have yourself, and then everybody that surrounds you, whether that's friends, family, anything that is in your life, is as it should be. And that's a wonderful message, because maybe this is coming up also because it is the holidays, and maybe a lot of us feel alone. You know, we're all not alone, right? Because we all have somebody, right? Whether it's a friend, whether it's our family members, and maybe we want more, but maybe that's in the future, and maybe not necessarily today, and that's okay too, right? So I do want to get more extra spiritual guidance for all of us today. Let's get a little comfortable here today. Yeah, you can be happy now. We did get this message throughout the week. Maybe just journal and reflect more about your life and where it's going, where you want to be, who you want to be. I feel like it's also, you know, what we've been thinking about in my mind a lot. And I feel like what is coming up is, what do we really want out of life? And I feel like there's just no more time to waste to be that person that you want to be. Be you. Be really genuinely yourself, and just don't waste any more time on this. Whatever your dreams are, just continue to dream the impossible. Seek the unknown and achieve your greatness. Work on your legacy, build that up, and just focus on that. And then anybody who comes along into this story of yours is because they're meant to stay forever, right? We're no longer accepting people who are just going to come and walk in and leave out. because we've had enough of that, right? We've had enough of walk-ins. We don't need that confirmation or that affirmation that, you know, we're good enough, because we have all of that within ourselves already, right? We know of our beauty, we know of our confidence, we know of our abilities, our talents. So we don't need this from an external source. Let us get an affirmation for this week. And I do feel like, because this energy of empowerment is coming up, I do feel like a lot of divine feminines in particular, particularly those who are single without a divine masculine by their side, might be coming together in the new year. I'm actually ironically also going to be filming massive amount of episodes for my women's content plus new shows as well. That's going to be my focus like the first half of the year. It's going to be all women's content at the TV show, at my TV network. So definitely join my spiritual counseling TV network at christieramirez.com/TV. And I feel like the fact that we bring women together is going to help us all heal as well. So that's a good thing. I am attracting my dream future. Wonderful message. And okay, interesting message for this week. I am a peaceful sleeper and I sleep at an early time. I wake up at an early time and I start my day with joy. So maybe this is also the shifts in our schedule, maybe spending more time in the daylight. I am kind and I do kind things for others because I have more than enough love to give to the world. So we need to focus on our being kind to others, showing more kindness, being of service. All right, now let's get an angel message for this week. All right away, the angel for today. Wow, dear Archangel Zadkiel, the angel of memory. I do feel like we are creating good memories this Christmas season, new ones as well. Thank you for helping me to recall all of the necessary information that I need to know about this topic. And again, also looking into the past and just bringing in what we need to know right now, right? Thank you for helping me focus upon my beautiful, and I also heard cheerful, memories, and let go of the rest. Let go of anything that is just not high vibrational. Love your divine child. Just focus on the beauty. And look at this, dear Archangel Raphael shows up for us for guiding. Thank you for guiding my healing career and helping me to bring blessings to everyone I encounter. Please guide me as to how I can help him or her be healthy, happy, and strong. Thank you for giving me light. Love your divine child. And I think this is all what we need a little bit of this week and into Christmas season. We need to be strong. We need to just trust in God. Remember this quote from the Bible, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And know that also God wouldn't give you anything that you couldn't handle. So whatever it is that you're healing from the past, know that you are strong enough to overcome it and see a better future for you. Stay hopeful, stay optimistic, stay positive, and keep your angels in your prayers. Keep them all around you in your daily life. See the light at the end of the tunnel. See love everywhere and do all things with grace. That is our extended weekly spiritual guidance for today. Make sure that you check out all my extra content on my Instagram page at christieramirez_soul coaching. And that is it for today. Have a beautiful evening, everyone, whenever you're watching this video. And I'll see you all next week. And of course, all the Christmas events coming up soon as well. I did mention them in one of the dailies. I did a huge announcement for all the upcoming events. So make sure that you just stay tuned. Sign up to my mailing list on my website as well at christieramirez.com. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching this video. Namaste.